When a band decides the direction of an album before it's been written and recorded instead of letting the songs form naturally, it rarely goes right. This is a massive exception. Let's get into it. Now then guys, Quinnsdude here, back on the Rad Music Chat channel. Please smash a like on the video if you enjoy it. It's the little thumbs up down below. And if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button and that'll let you know whenever new content is uploaded. Today's video is falling under the title of Rad Reviews. And as promised in my short yesterday, we are going to be reviewing Truth Decay by You Me at 6, which came out today. Truth Decay is You Me at 6's 8th studio album, and the genres we're going to put against this one is alternative rock, emo, pop punk. Frontman vocalist Josh Franceschi actually preempted the release of the album by saying that the band wanted to make a retrospective album on their 8th album. To quote directly, he said, we wanted to look back to go forward and make an album that reflected the fan base. Now, this is what I alluded to. Often that is when bands kind of cave into what a lot of their fans want them to do. It can sometimes come off as disingenuous and forced. Well, let's just get it out the way straight away. You Me at 6 with Truth Decay have absolutely smashed it out of the park. And last album, Sucker Punch, was something really special that I thought that they'd peaked with. But Truth Decay is just, it hits that mission statement of what they wanted to do. But it isn't ripping themselves off either. It actually sounds like they've taken all the elements of their previous eras and 7 albums and kind of funneled it through who they are now. And you just have this collection of 13 tracks that are just, for the most part, absolutely wonderful. I hasten to add, though, that doing that can't have been easy because You Me at 6 have always prided themselves on basically pretty much all their albums, especially from album number 3, Sinners Never Sleep, all their albums have been pretty different in vibe and direction. All the signs for this album were pretty good from the get-go. Released quite some time ago, last year, was the first track and first single, Deep Cut, which is really quite visceral and a real rocking tune that has one of the band's finest choruses as well. Really thick sound. The band returned to Dan Austin for this album, so you know, with regards to the actual mix and sonics on the album, no worries there. It's thick and meaty and sounds glorious. Another thing that's clear across all the tracks, well, the majority of the tracks on Truth Decay, is how much the band have actually gone back to some of their earlier influences. And Mixed Emotions track 2 is another belter, and that definitely sounds like something that could have been on Taking Back Sunday's Where You Want to Be or Louder Now albums. That's not to say it's just derivative of that. It's not. It's very much You Me at 6, but just you can feel that that Taking Back Sunday influence on it, whether that's intentional or not. I might take a bit of flack here from the sort of hardcore Sixers, but the track 3, which was also released a short while ago, God Bless the 90s Kids, for me is the only miss on the album. It just sounds too much like the kind of pop punk that I don't really like. Things like All Time Low, which ironically I just learnt that Alex from All Time Low was actually due to be a guest vocalist on this song, but it didn't happen in the end. I'm going to stick my neck out here a bit as well and say that I think that Truth Decay is lyrically is Josh Franceschi's best album yet. This could be something to do with the fact that he's now in his early 30s, the whole band are, and you know, since starting the band in their teens, and obviously they've gone through their 20s as rock stars essentially, there's a lot to reflect upon, and it's almost like Truth Decay is kind of, you know, it's gone full circle in a way, vibe and musically to a certain extent, and it's almost like lyrically they've kind of been able to look back over and take stock, and you know, Truth Decay just feels like this culmination of closing maybe a chapter, an 8 album long chapter, but it feels like that in a way. Anyway, After Love in the After Hours, track 4, is where the album takes its first kind of darker turn, and I love this track. It was an instant favourite. Another strength that You Me at 6 have always had is they're all fans of so much different types of music, but they really, really keep an eye and are fans of contemporary pop music. Track 6, Heartless, is a perfect example of this. It's not like they've never done tracks like this before. I mean, Heartless could easily have sat on last album Sucker Punch, or perhaps even the album before that. But it just has that contemporary pop feel that's put through the filter of a British alternative rock band. Again, superb. I'm always conscious of time on these because I like to keep the videos sub 10 minutes. So I'm just going to pick up some other sort of highlights as well. The track Breakdown is showing an obvious influence of Josh's love for the kind of modern hip-hop and emo rap scene. It's a great track. Traumatic Iconic. The bridge in that song is just so good. My Dopamine is actually now, after listening all day, is my favourite track. This track has a really nice, simple guitar solo that follows the melody. The vocals are lovely. The lyrics are really great. And also on My Dopamine, it sounds like a 90s alternative rock song. Like, it sounds like something that you'd maybe hear a lighter song from, say, Silverchair or like Everclear or something like that. Closing track, A Love Letter to Those Who Feel Lost, is just, again, another wonderful track on this album. Josh's voice is just, I mean, can we agree that Josh Franceschi is one of the finest vocalists of his generation? I mean, he's just unbelievable, and very distinctive, and has such control over his voice. But this track features the voice contestant Cody Frost, who's kind of making waves in her own right now. I won't say too much about her, but just investigate her. What a voice, and the way that they meld together on this this track is absolutely sublime. Is it a perfect record? Well, no, it's not. It's near perfect, but there's nothing that I would skip, even 90s kids. But Who Needs Revenge When I've Got Ellen Ray and A Smile to Make You Weaker at the Knees are the sort of weaker tracks. They're enjoyable enough, but they're not really they're not highlights for me. So that's it, guys. One of my favourite bands of recent years have done it again and delivered a killer album. Well done, boys. Yeah, I want to know what you think, so leave it in the comments. Anyway, that's it for this one. Stay rad.